Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Ocean's 8. I'm a huge fan of the Ocean's trilogy. 12 was really weird. Really weird. Really weird. Ambitious, but really weird. But those films are like the essence of cool, memorable, boom, heist movie kind of thing. Great chemistry from a bunch of fantastic actors. And I was hoping for the same thing from this. You know what's missing from this? Steven Soderbergh. That's what's missing from it. Not the cast. The cast is not missing, and they come to play. But like Gary Ross does a very solid job directing this film, and that's a plus and negative because he does a solid job. It's pretty straightforward. This film feels like I'll get to that in a little bit, but this film is well done. It's put together fine, and it does a nice job of trying to emulate what the original Ocean's films felt like. But the thing is, you can't take anything away from this cast. Everyone came to play and did what they could with what they were given. Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett are very charismatic, and then you have the plethora of like Sarah Paulson and Helen Bowman Carter and Brianna, and the real standout actually for me was Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway was great in this film. She really brought it and stole every scene that she was in. She did some great things, whether it's all of the choices she makes with her face and how to react to things, or like in her how she portrays her voice in a particular scene. And she just had so much charm in this film, and she was great. And there's some clever scenes I really enjoyed. There's one particular sequence when Sandra Bullock Debbie Ocean gets out of prison. That was great. And then the first things that she does when she gets out of prison, I wish there was more of that because it was fantastic. She was great, and she was really owning it. Daniel Pemberton's score, he does a really good job of making a score that feels really cool and feel like the scores from the other films. You know what? I should have looked up who did the scores from the other ones. But I didn't, and I don't remember. Apologize. And there's some decent cinematography by Eagle Brild. It felt like trying to really emulate the cinematography of the first three. And you're like, well, they could have at least gotten the cinematographer, but they couldn't because it's still Steven Soderbergh. It's kind of hard to compare when you lose somebody like an auteur like Steven Soderbergh, who handles the directing so well, but also does his own cinematography. So it's really hard to capture the essence of a film. Like, you could change a director if you have a cinematographer, or you have the same cinematographer from another film, and it could really capture the same kind of feel. But the thing is, you couldn't do that with this. It was a whole new thing, and they did their best to try to emulate it and make it feel in there. Like, the story's not super interesting. They tried to do some interesting things, especially with Danny Ocean in particular, but it's like it wasn't. It's like it's a heist movie, and they did the whole you thought you knew what everything was going on, but I don't feel like they set up other things as well, and where it was like, oh, I could have caught on to it. It's kind of like, haha, this came out of nowhere, and I was not really emotionally attached. There's some attempts at some emotional things throughout this film, and they worked kind of, but overall it's kind of just like, you're here to have fun. There's not a whole lot of depth to the characters. Like, all the secondary characters are so flat, and honestly, Cate Blanchett and Sandra Bullock's characters don't have a whole lot of depth either. They're really cool and charismatic, but that's about it. And this film is not a deep film, it's just a plain, straight up fun heist film. The fact that, like, Going in Style has more depth in this movie, and that was really straightforward heist movie, but at least they had real motivations. This is just like the main motivation is for Debbie to get revenge, just like in the Ocean's 11 movie, and then to make her brother proud, which that did work. That worked for me a little bit. And I was surprised about how much they did make Danny Ocean a focus in this film. And But the thing is, this film is not as cool as it's trying to be. It really wants to be as cool as the other Ocean's movies, and it attempts it and does a fine job of trying to replicate it, but it's not the same. It doesn't feel it, and it's unfortunately average. And it was a fun movie. It was a fun movie to sit through. I did get bored a little bit at points where it kind of lagged. I don't know if I don't know. I think this film could have been had a little more energy, and I felt like the ingredients here should have came together and made something better than this. But I enjoyed it. It's a good film. I took my mom to go see it. She really liked it. I'm glad she really liked it. I thought it was fun. It was enjoyable, and I'm gonna give Ocean's 8 a C plus.